Welcome to the village. Welcome. Today's topic, mental health matters. Why? Because it does. This is May. This is Mental Health Awareness Month, and the village is still honoring our teachers. I know it's Teacher Appreciation. This is month. We've had week, but we're going to also pause and think about mental health because it's so important. All of our teachers are going back to work, doing hybrid. We've been, dealing with this pandemic. So we want to make sure that we stop and recognize Mental Health Awareness Month as well. So again, teachers, we salute you and we honor you all month long for all that you do. And we hope that you're taking care of your mental health. Let's be intentional. So again, today's topic, mental health matters. I am Dr. Roz Gaskin, CEO and founder of the Village Leadership Group, LLC, where we coach teacher leaders to maximize their strength, develop leadership skills, and reignite their passion for teaching in order to have a greater impact in their schools and communities. That's right, guys. We're all about who? Teachers and educators. We want to make sure that you guys have a community that supports you, especially during this time during the pandemic. So we have a special guest today, Dr. WorthIt Terrell. That's right, Dr. WorthIt. I love that name. We'll talk about it. So welcome to the village, Dr. WorthIt.
Thank you so very much. It's awesome to be here. I'm so happy to be here.
Yes. So Dr. WorthIt is a teacher. So again, happy belated Teacher Appreciation Day and week. We're still celebrating. So I salute you.
Yes, thank you. I salute you as well.
Thank you. Yes, we're honoring teachers all month long. It's not just a day or we need to celebrate all month long. So again, guys, May is also Mental Health Awareness Month. So we're going to pause and make sure that we are intentional about taking care of our mental health. So Dr. WorthIt is here because she's going to give us more advice and more tips for how we take care of our mental health. So Dr. WorthIt, tell us a little bit about who you are and what you do, other than being a great teacher.
Thank you so much. Well, of course, I am a teacher. I've been a teacher for 23 years. I am the owner of WorthIt Mental Health Wellness, LLC, which is a company designed to help to educate the community about mental health and wellness. And I specifically focus on, teachers and African American communities. Not only that, I also make sure that I am available to those who are searching for help and resources for their mental health. So I try to help people, especially those who are, how people are who are in the church and they're finally realizing, oh, I do need help. There's something in addition to prayer that I need to do. And a lot of times they do come to me and they're looking for Christian counselors. And for them, that's important. And if that's what it's going to take to get you in there, then that's what I'll do to help you get to someone to help you. So that's really what I do. I also speak and I am a new author as well. So I'm just excited to introduce that as well later in the show.
Thank you again. So I have to ask you, you knew I was going to ask this. Dr. WorthIt, what is that about? Where did you get your name from?
I came up with the name Dr. WorthIt because I have struggled with mental illness all my life, but I was only diagnosed with a mental illness approximately 2 years ago. After the death of my brother and my sister within 8 months of each other. And I had lost my house by fire approximately 5 months prior to my sister passing. So I had a lot of trauma going on. And also my son had been diagnosed with a mental illness as well. And so a lot of things that had been going on with me at that time reverted back to me being a child. And what they diagnosed me with was PTSD. And I felt worthless. And I think a lot of things I had just pressed down within my spirit and tried not to think about it, but it was still there. But I was literally a shell of myself. I just felt worthless. And someone told me, you are worth everything. All those good things that's happening to you, you're so worth it. And when I would teach and do the trainings for mental health, I would always tell those who were in the audience, get a checkup from the neck up because you're worth it. And they started saying Dr. Worth It. And I just thought, like, oh, I like that. That sounds cute. So I started, it's a self-proclamation for myself to exhibit my worthiness. I am worth that and so much more. And so are you.
Amen. That's good. I love that name. Go on, Dr. Worth It.
I'm gone.
So one of the things that I hear from your story is that you are affirming yourself. I love that with that Dr. Worth It. And we talked about that before when we talked about self-care and making sure that we affirm ourselves and that you have to really believe those affirmations. So I love that Dr. Worth It, that's you are worth it. And like you said, you're worth so much more and we have to believe that. So I want to talk about one of my tips that I always like to say is being intentional. And so we need to be proactive when we talk about mental health. We don't wait until we're about to have a heart attack, we're 500 pounds and we have pains all over our bodies before we seek, a doctor, going to the doctor. We are proactive. We go on a regular basis. We don't wait until all our teeth fall out. To go to the dentist. So I want to hear from you. Like, what are some things that you do to be proactive as far as your mental health is concerned?
Being proactive means that you're getting a checkup. We go and we get our physical checkups yearly, and around that time is also a good time to get your mental checkup. Schedule you some time with a therapist. I have my wonderful therapist. I love her, love her, love her. And it doesn't mean that there's something mentally wrong with you. And even if it is, it's okay. And that's why I always tell people, I do have a mental illness. This is what mental illness looks like. And it's okay. But those who have not been diagnosed with a mental illness, it's okay for you to see someone as well. It's a good practice of having someone just to talk to and to vent to get those things off of your heart, off of your chest. Some of the things that I do, one of the things that happens with me is my mind races with anxious thoughts. So one of the things that I have learned to do is I've created this space in my mind so that those thoughts that keep bombarding me, and a lot of times there's nothing you can do about the things that's going on in your head, especially like something that you can't do anything about. I put it into my magical box in my head. Okay. And I put it away until I can deal with it. And my therapist laughed and I said, it kept popping open. So I put rocks on top of it. In my mental space, I picture myself putting boulders on top of that box so it won't come open. That sucker came open again. I threw it in the ocean. So just different things in your mind so that you can have the space to be who you are and you can be intentional about your thinking instead of having all of those thoughts going on in your head. Do something for you every day. I cannot dance. But I love to dance. And my daughter is a dancer. And I always say, girl, you want me to teach you some moves? She'd be like, Mommy, no, ma'am, I'm good. So doing things that you love to do, you might not be great at it, you might not be good at it, but if it's something that makes you smile and makes you happy, do it. And that's one of the biggest things that we as individuals have to learn to do. Stop thinking about what people think of you when you do what you love. Just do what you love.
Yes, I love it. So again, that is being proactive. I love that. So, I love to dance too. I love music. So,
Mhm.
taking care of yourself, self-care is so important for your
Yes.
mental. That woosah time, that time to kind of decompress. My thing is my hammock time. A lot of you guys within the village, I love to post pictures of me hanging out in my hammock because that is my time. Also, reading is something that I like to do as well. So I love it. Think of the things that you love to do. Getting into the Word, praying, all those things. You're being proactive. You're taking care of your mental health because you're feeding your soul. You're feeding your spirit and you're clearing out those toxic negative thoughts. You gotta get
Mhm.
those toxic thoughts. So you gotta replace those with good thoughts.
That's
And so
right.
I love that, Dr. Murphy. That's good. So that's being proactive. And then the other tip is to be reflective. So
Mhm.
being reflective. So at the end of the day, how do you decompress? How do you think about your day? How do you, check on your thoughts and your emotions? So how do you reflect on your day, Dr. Working?
I think most of the time my reflection is in the car on my
Mm-hmm.
drive home. I'm doing a lot of reflecting. Okay, what happened? How could I have handled that better? What should I do the next time? And sometimes I don't know about anybody else, but I have a hard time with my words. I'm very blunt. And so I really have to work on that. And so sometimes I have to repeat over and over certain things that I
Yeah,
probably should say better the next time. So
I'm the
that's
same way.
just, yeah, just reflecting on it and being able to feel comfortable saying it. If I can say it several times, how can I help you? What would you like me to do to help you? And I'm like, whew, that's just not me. But so I have to repeat that over and over so the next time I'm comfortable saying it. So we have to reflect daily so that we can clear our minds and clear our thoughts so that we're able to tackle the next day or the next task that's coming. So that's what I do in the afternoon. And one of the other things that helps me is to I love animals. So I'm watching Animal Planet. That just really calms me down. And also watching videos of waterfalls and the ocean and the beach and just listening to that and speaking words of power into my life. That's reflective. That's
That's
reflective, especially when you feel that you didn't do a great job that day and telling yourself it's okay. I'll do better the next time. I am powerful. I'm more than a conqueror. So just talking to yourself and reflecting on the things that you've gone through that day and then speaking words of power into your life.
I love it. I received that because today was not a good day for me. So I received that, and I will definitely take that advice. That we do need to be reflective and speak words of affirmation. I love that. Great tip.
Mhm.
So again, guys, we talked about being proactive and we talked about being reflective. So again, mental health matters. So we want to make sure that we're being intentional about taking care of our mental health. We don't want to wait to the last minute until things get to
Right.
extreme, an emergency. You want to be intentional and always, like Dr. Worthy said, have those checkups for your mental health. It's okay. Get some couch time. That's what I like to call it. And
Mhm.
about with this whole environment that we're living in with COVID and pandemic is that a lot of services now are right online. You can call in and check in on your phone, do a quick Zoom session or teleconference with
Mhm.
your therapist or counselor or whoever that you're checking in with. There's just so many ways that it's very convenient for our lifestyle right now that you can just have a little tune up with your mental health. So it's so
That's
important.
right.
And then the last tip is to be patient. Be patient. Give yourself grace. Give yourself grace. A lot of times we stress our own selves out because we make all these things, goals and expectations and we put them on ourselves. And so we get stressed out and frustrated because we didn't meet a certain deadline. Oh, 45, and I thought I would be a millionaire by the time I'm 45, or
Mhm.
I thought
Mhm.
married 2 children and a dog and a cat by the time I'm 30. Just these, some things are realistic and that we didn't meet. Some things are unrealistic. Like, really, we thought
Wow.
this was in 6 months, or whatever. So we have to make sure that we are patient with ourselves. Listen,
Right.
everyone looks happy on Instagram and Facebook.
So
So
true.
don't compare yourself to the people on social media.
Mm.
So,
Yes.
Dr. WorthIt, how do you give yourself grace and be patient with yourself?
So that's the one I'm working on.
We're all
That
working
is
in
what
progress.
I am working on because I know that I'm a perfectionist. And if it's not right, I'm not satisfied and I'm angry with myself. Why did you do it that way? Why didn't you do this? And I'm learning to say, baby girl, it's okay. You did the best that you can do. And speaking love to myself, baby girl, it's okay. It's like the old lady. Nobody can get away from the old lady that said, come here, baby, let me talk to you. So I say those kind of sweet little words to myself, and it makes me tune in and hear what I'm saying. But that's something that I'm really, really, really working on because I'm very hard on myself. And I'm learning to give myself grace and understanding that it's okay to not be there yet.
Right.
There's certain things that I thought I would be right now, and I'm not. And I'm like, okay, what can I do differently? So, even with the grace that you give yourself, sometimes you have to change your tactics. If it's not working, okay, what can I do differently? Perhaps I can get a certification here or whatever, in whatever direction you're going in. But grace is so powerful, and you have to give yourself grace so that you can grow, because you stifle yourself when you do not give yourself grace. And what ends up happening, you end up with stress
Mhm.
that causes other illnesses. And what we don't realize is a lot of things that the body aches and the pains that we're having, it has nothing to do with that part of your body. It has a lot to do with what's going on up here that's causing the stress, which manifests itself physically. So, yes, learn to talk to yourself very lovely when you don't make those gains, or you're not where you want to be, or you have not yet met or attained what you thought you would have attained, even within a week. Speak to yourself positive and tell yourself it's okay.
Right.
It's okay. And it really is. And that sounds, sort of, that's it. Yeah, that's it. It's okay. And I have to tell myself that a lot. It's okay. They didn't call you back for that job. It's okay.
It's all
Perhaps
right.
God has something else for you waiting. Be
Something
patient.
better. Something better.
Something better. Yeah.
Yes. Love it.
Yeah.
Love it. Sometimes you just gotta breathe and let it go.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Mm-hmm.
not worth the stress. Because sometimes we
Mm-hmm.
stress over something real small and minute, and
Mm-hmm.
we just let it go. Be
Yeah,
patient with
and what
yourself.
yeah, and one of the things I'm learning is a lot of times those things we're stressing over are things that's helping us to grow.
Mm.
They're helping us to grow. And that's what I, even in the last few months, I've had several interviews for different positions. And I'm like, I hit that one out of the park. I know I got that position. I don't hear nothing back. So I'm like, okay, for some reason they didn't call back, but let's take that as a practice for the job that's coming. There's a big
Exactly.
interview coming. I don't know when it's coming, but I know that that was practice. That was preparation for that big position that's coming. And understand that it's okay. Those two little letters mean so much. It's not something just to pacify, but it's really truly believing in your whole being that it is okay that you didn't get that position. And those little things that come by and cause us so much stress, step back and look at the blessing in that little thing. There's always a blessing to be found in those little things. Even in the morning, if you drop your cup of coffee and you got to clean it up, perhaps you're being saved from something that's out there that you don't even know that's there. Those little things could be blessings in disguise. You just don't see it as such because right now it's holding you back from getting to work. But perhaps it's saving you from something even greater.
That's good.
Yeah, that's the bright side.
Yeah, I was looking at a Facebook post earlier today where the person asked everyone to introduce themselves by what almost killed them. So it was saying, hi, my name is childbirth. Hi, my name is breast cancer. Hi, my name is X, Y, and Z. And when I was looking at that, and I was like, that for some people that can seem kind of like a depressing or dark post, but it's very encouraging because we've all been through something. We've all had trials and tribulations.
Yes.
But the good news is we're here. We survived. And so I love what you said that sometimes those tests, those trials, those tribulations are there, but we can grow from them, and we can learn something. So just because you receive a no, just because you make a mistake, or you're going through some type of challenge or obstacle or a whole pandemic, doesn't mean that there's going to be a blessing on the other side, or doesn't mean that there's going to be some joy, some success, some happiness on the other side. So that is something that, again, you have to believe. And so that will encourage you as you're going through trial and tribulation. That's going to get you up in the morning, put a smile on your face, like, you know what? I can keep on going. So again, to all the teachers, I know this has been a tough year. It's some change. But joy comes in the morning. We just got there. We have a few more days. How many days left do we have? I don't even know.
Well, we got like 20, 19, 20.
June will be here.
Yeah.
So again, one of the things again, guys, that we have to do again, let's be intentional. Let's be intentional. Be proactive. Be reflective, and be patient. Give yourself grace. Love yourself. Take care of yourself. And this again, we talk about mental health, guys. Those of you who are just joining us, we want to encourage all of our teachers, all of our leaders, all of our educators to go out and seek help if you need help, or even if you think you're fine, get that checkup because we have to be intentional with taking care of our physical, emotional, and mental health. Take care of ourselves. So, Dr. WorthIt, I want you to tell the people a little bit more about what you do, what type of things you have going on, and so that they can reach out to support you and check out some of your services and your book.
Yay! Thank you. Well, WorthIt Mental Health Wellness. Right now, we are scheduling for the summer for trainings for mental health first aid. Mental health first aid is a training that we do with people who work with youth, people who work with adults, or just the lay person, the everyday person that you see walking down the street. This is the training for you because it teaches you signs and symptoms of mental illnesses in youth, especially if you're an educator. That's really why I got into mental health first aid. It had nothing to do with me. It had everything to do with my students because I saw them struggling and suffering and coming in with all kinds of baggage. And it was, how do I help these babies? And I didn't know what to do with them. But this training helped me to be more understanding and more compassionate, to understand what are the signs and symptoms that our children go through of mental illnesses. And with that understanding, I was able to help them just a little bit more. And that's important for our babies. I also do trainings for adults, for adult mental health first aid. What are the signs and symptoms of mental illnesses in adults? Because you do know that a lot of the mental illnesses that you see in children are not present in adults. They are completely different. So we do two different trainings for adults and for children. And the adults one also includes information on signs and symptoms of substance use disorders as well. So those are the trainings that we are scheduling right now for the summer. If you would like to sign up, feel free to go to my website, which is Worth It Mental Health. I'm sorry, worthitmhfa.com. And you can sign up or send me an email from there. Also, I do speak. Last night I actually spoke on a call, and my subject, and I thought it was just funny that we sort of talked about it, was turning out your problems into pearls, and just dealing with and understanding that everyone has trauma and everyone goes through some things, and we have to know how to use those things as our building blocks to be better people. Within Worth It Mental Health Wellness as well, I'm also doing some trainings for children, because a lot of times our children will tell their friends before they tell an adult that they are suicidal. I was suicidal at 12 years old, and I told my friends, and they got me help. I was mad and angry, but I'm so happy that they did. Otherwise, I would not have this story nor this testimony today of where, God has brought me from. But I do work with youth as well to help them to understand the signs and symptoms that their friends might see of mental illnesses. I have just also written my first book. I'm so excited to share it. It's called She's Dead. Yes, thank you. We are taking pre-orders. You can go to www.shesdeadisaid.com and you can pre-order the book. This book is a memoir of my life, and I have to tell you, from the people who's read it, they said, "How did you make it?" And I said, "It was nothing but God." Because I went through some things as a child growing up without a mother, thinking that my mother left me, but she was actually dead. And I didn't understand what the word dead meant because I was 2 when she passed, and that's all they told me. She's dead. Okay, where's she at? So, yes. So this book tells all about my life, but the great thing about this memoir is not just a memoir. After each chapter, it gives you information and resources on mental illnesses that could be being suffered for that particular child in that chapter. Like I said, at that time, I didn't have any idea that that was a mental illness. But now I'm like, wow, I had several things going on and I didn't even understand it. So you will see after the chapter that I talk about suicide, you will get information on suicide prevention for children. So please, 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 if you don't pick up the book for you, pick it up for a teenager that might feel like I'm the only one going through this. And a lot of times they just need to know that they are not alone. So those are the things that I'm going through right now. You can also find me on Instagram at Dr. WorthIt20. My email is tangela.terrell@zohomail.com. On Facebook, you can find me at Dr. WorthIt Mental Health Tidbits. And I can't wait to hear from you.
Awesome. Well, I can't wait to get that book. So that is definitely going to be on my to-do list to pre-order this book. And so, Dr. Worthy, again, thank you so much for joining the village. Please don't be a stranger.
Thank you. Thank you for inviting me.
Yes, we're going to have to welcome you back again another time. So, take care.
Thanks.
All right, guys. Again, that was awesome. Another great live discussion about what mental health matters. Again, guys, we need to be patient with ourselves. We need to be proactive. All right. And we need to be reflective. So those are our 3 tips for mental health. Be intentional. Don't wait. Okay. Be intentional. Go regularly and get a checkup for your mental health. All right, so again, guys, thank you so much for following The Village on Facebook and Instagram at The Village LG. Continue to share our posts and comment as well. We want to hear from you. All right. And again, teacher leadership is a mindset, not a position. See you next week.